Heya people, this is zaabizs. Today we're going to be playing Katawa Shoujo. It was released a few years ago, and I can say I've played the prologue, sort of, back then, but I've also watched a few videos of the prologue. I never really got too far in the game, so I can't spoil anything, and I'm hoping we can get through this together, or if you played it before, that's great. Just don't tell me anything about the game. If you haven't played it before, then that's great as well, because the game is free, and the link will be in the description, so you can play it with me if you want. You should support the creators by downloading it, because it's a free game. And we got a winter setting here. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy. And the summer, okay, I was thinking if you're talking about right now. Far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. What are you trying to do out of sight of everyone? Let's find out. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. It's reasonable. Oh, so the guy's name is Hisao. I have to give him a voice. I could just go with this voice, but maybe I should try to give him something else. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah, yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker. But at least this way shows a bit of initiative. Thinking about it, maybe I should just stick with this voice for Hisao. And then give the other characters voices as well. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. Are we wearing a jacket? Or are we just... do we have gloves on? Because if you're standing out there, where I live we got seasons, and it can get really cold in winter. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky, only sign of time passing in the stagnant world. The slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time is slow to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me. Oh no! Interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Quick! Choice! Run away or fight! I'm just kidding. Okay, I do remember this is a girl, so I'm not gonna make the mistake of giving them a very deep voice. Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. It's totally not me. It's totally not a different tone of me. I feel my heart skip a beat. Doki, 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 doki. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face his voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Ba-dump, 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 dump. Oh, so I'm guessing this is what we look like. We are wearing a jacket. That I like. She's wearing a skirt. I don't know why she's wearing a skirt in the middle of winter outside meeting us. She's gonna get sick or something. Iwanako, I got a note telling you to wait here. It was yours? Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Saying, hey, I got this note from you. Was it yours? You know, you kind of showed up here wearing a skirt, middle of winter, to see me, you know, calling me out, but was it yours? That's all I can think of. Pathetic. Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle, even if I tried. I'd try to give you that smile, but I don't really have a camera right now, so I'm not really planning to do webcam right now. Ooh, red. Is this gonna turn into a horror game? Okay, no. This is gonna turn into a different type of game. Entirely, though. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. Okay, maybe it is going to turn into a horror game, because it sounds like you're trying to evoke the image of a heart coming out. You just imagine the rib cage opening up and Heart's like, hey there, and just smiling. It's got that shy smile that the girl had, and it devours the girl. That sounds very scary. Also sounds like an interesting horror game, but I don't think that's what's gonna happen. The music stopped. That's never good. So, here we are, out in the cold. Brrr. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. And Wanako flinches ever so softly against a gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. You're paying a lot of attention to the hair, man. If it's your fetish, I understand. Just saying. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. And louder. It's like it wants to eat her or something. Maybe. I'm not sure. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see? Okay, that's more red. I wanted to know... I think something might just go wrong here. Just a sneaking suspicion when he's talking about his heart. Every few lines. And we see that red flashing. Okay, I did read this part. I'll be honest. If you'd go out with me... I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao? My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. That was error. I meant to say terror. This music is getting tense. And it's gone. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Wanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of my Wanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. So, you passed out from some sort of sickness. Oh, that's fancy. It's kind of like a cutscene. Yeah, 4 Leaf Studios, guys who made it. I believe it's team from 4chan. And Katawa Shoujo. I think it translates to Disability Girls. More literally. Ooh. I'll stay quiet for now. You can get the credits. I'll move the mouse actually out of the way if I can. That was a beautiful animation, and we're also confronted with this not so beautiful truth. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've been left in this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word. A foreign, alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? Like it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. So the parents are looking out for him, but he's a little depressed. That's what I'm telling. Of course it isn't a cure, because of the late discovery of this condition. I had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get well gift began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Okay, that's kind of... Did you guys ever have those projects where you sent that sick person in class, hey, get better soon? I remember doing something like that in elementary school. We just wrote a card to someone. I don't know if they were in the hospital or just out of the day or something. That's, looking at the way he's looking at it, it's kind of sad when people just stop talking after that. I mean, it makes sense now. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry, and they have a million other patients waiting for them. But it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So, I idly observed the scar that these surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. You know, I actually had some surgeries when I was younger. I didn't quite feel like this. The only surgery I had that kind of left any scars faded away quickly. I had appendicitis, and my appendix was about to kill me, and I managed to get it just in time. But I guess seeing visual markers kind of would make you think a little bit. It kind of reminds you every day, if you look in the mirror, that this happened to me, that I'm now not normal, I guess. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. Maybe there's gonna be a school. Maybe you're gonna go to a school. Maybe I've seen that much of this visual novel before. Play your cards right, kid, and it's gonna turn out just fine. Like, I might have seen, like, girls in your future. Or, if you swing the other way, I'm sure there's a mod for the game or something. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was just the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the school. Library, not really library, it's just a storeroom for books. Began working my way through it, small stack after another, and once I was done consuming them, I went back for more and more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I just couldn't get enough. You know, I wanted to think about it every single day. Just gotta get those words on that paper, the ink flying out of me, injecting it straight into my bloodstream. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. Don't touch me, I haven't worn or read a book yet. Wearing a book sounds weird. But I love the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish one from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred in some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. So first he's saying time slowed down, back when he was outside. Now time's just trapping him and barely there at all. Maybe later, time's gonna be moving back up. Sorry for literary mumbo jumbo. I like English, so I might do that sometimes. You can ask for more nonsensical jokes if you want. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday? Is it Friday? Shit, I forgot. Is it maybe it's Saturday? No. It's Sunday, Sunday, Sunday! Monster Truck Rally. Okay, I'm sorry I set up the entire joke there. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside to lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling, as if I was going to cry. That's sad, for that only happened rarely. I couldn't even cry. Well, the big box is gone, so maybe there's going to be some movement, no more introspection. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. I kind of sometimes remember a few doctors who just put on a face, but not really care about the conditions. I mean, if you're recovering especially, they're just kind of like, nah, I've got other patients, and just give you a status update. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Excuse me. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. I'm in the fucking hospital, Mom and Dad. It's not a party. Don't you understand? I'm depressed. There is this ritual they had a cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. He looks longingly into my eyes, and he tells me, "You, my friend, and I, would you like to go on a 3-day cruise all across, well, wherever this is set, which I think is Japan? Come on, we can make memories. A summer you'll never forget. Anyways." "Hello, Hisao. How are you today?" I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. "I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription." The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Okay. Abnormal fatigue, dysopyramide, insomnia, diarrhea. It sucks. 200 milligrams. Abnormal heart fail. Letters everywhere. Let's get back to the nice white letters I can see right here. The absurdly long list of medications started staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. That's scary. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindications, and doses are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life? Every day? I'm afraid this is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that would be best if you don't return to your old school. I mean, imagine how awkward it'd be coming back to school, the way he described it. You guys sent me all these great, get well letters, and then you left me in the hospital for, like, ever. And I was sad and lonely. And you... I thought you were cute. You thought I was cute. I liked your hair. But then you just stopped talking to me. Yeah, make me sad. It's so... I get where the doctor's coming from and the parents are coming from. But apparently he doesn't get that point. I mean, he's the one who said everything the same. What? Please, calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he tells me, he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Okay, so that's why. He's thinking of that. Whatever of my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. And here's where, we get Katawa, I think. Katawa's the disability. Disabled? What? Am I... ... It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. So I'm saying that Hisao does not like the stigma of disability. Alright, that might be room for character growth, or maybe he'll be a little bit of a dick coming in. I'm not sure. Or maybe he's just having struggles with himself. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, that you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I really aren't able to homeschool you. I guess he's just complaining about free. He's talking about time trapping him. This guy does not like to be in a box. He goes against the grain. He goes against society. He does what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. He's a non-conformist. Don't you understand him? You should join him. You should be just like him. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamned opportunity. I think they might have wanted an exclamation mark there. It's just the way I feel. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and well, it's not the same one. A special school, you're gonna put me on the short bus. Don't you understand? I'm special, but not in that way. An insult, so that's what I want to say. It's a step down. So he's got a little, just issue with that whole... He's got some issues with that. I guess if he's lived his whole life being normal, maybe that's where he's coming from. It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. There's your moral lesson of the day, guys. Don't be held back by your disability. Just do it, which is, I think, outdated now, so I'm sorry. Also, I don't know how quite to edit in Shia LaBeouf there, so I can't do that for you. It's kind of my limited editing skills right now. Do it! One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. I don't care. Don't make me throw a tantrum. A person doesn't have to be held back by the disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. I get that, at least. He didn't have any say in it. They kind of just said, you're going to the school. They should have at least talked out with him. Hey, you should, do you want to go to the school? What do you want to do? But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no. But fuck it. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, the doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, with the thought of going to a disabled school. What are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. Okay, that's good. He's trying. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. Huh. Music stopped. Transition soon, maybe? I don't know. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Yeah? Some form of transition. And... oh? You bandaged your heart? I'm proud of you. Act 1, life expectancy. I think that, yeah, we made it to the gates of the school. It looks pretty. We got some new scenery. Just, he's got a future now, guys, and he's no longer depressed. Yes, well, he's depressed, but he's no longer as cooped up as he was before. He's got an opportunity now. And I think I'll end here for now. Thanks if you liked, and if you did like, please leave a like, subscribe, and I just say, bye-bye for now.